I'm not going to hide anything. I'm just going to tell you the simple truth and the truth only. So help me God. If you want to find out, keep watching. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, you are welcome. I'm Adauju. I do videos on sewing tutorials, sewing tips, sewing tricks, and fashion business tips. Today we're going to be talking about the truth about learning how to sew online, because the struggle is real, girls. The struggle is real. I know a lot of you, especially people that are new to sewing, you are in this confusion phase and you're like, can people really know how to sew online? Even though you've learned one or two things here, you've not really perfected your skills and it's really bothering you, and you're wondering like, somebody is not saying something about, somebody is not, other people saying you can learn how to sew online. I learned how to perfectly sew online. Is there something they are missing out? Yeah, there's something they are missing out, and I'm going to tell you that. I wrote everything down here so I won't forget, so permit me if you see me looking down. Now, the first thing that comes with learning how to sew online is confusion, especially if you don't have any prior knowledge of cutting, sewing, designing, anything. The first thing that would hit you when you start watching YouTube channels or watching YouTube videos, you are confused. You are wondering, why are they folding into 4? Why are they marking the armhole point? Why are they marking the bust point at 8 inches? Why are they marking the basic dart at 4 inches? Why are they putting a zip allowance at the back? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? Why are they putting an interface? Must it be 3 inches here? Must it be 4 inches here? There's always that confusion. And it is normal to be confused when you get into something you have no idea of. And that is why I always tell people, if you're coming into sewing, you want to learn how to sew online, there is a vast knowledge of styles on YouTube. Let me start from there. If you come on YouTube, you will see, okay, how to draft a basic bodice. It even takes somebody that even has an understanding of body dynamics and body measurement and how the body part is divided into 4 to even understand how to draft a basic bodice. Do you understand? So when you are learning how to sew online, you are first of all faced with confusion, and that confusion makes you doubt if learning how to sew online is actually true. And something I always tell people, when in that video where I talked about why you don't understand sewing tutorials, I said that if you want to learn how to sew online, you are seeing styles, you're not understanding the styles, it's because you don't know the basic, you've not understood the basics of sewing. Okay, you've not understood the basics of sewing, and you have to take your time to learn it. And sometimes a lot of YouTube channels, including mine, we don't have time to start doing YouTube videos one-on-one. Okay, how to start, how to fold, how to cut. That is because we are producing for a large audience, and sometimes you can't exactly carry everybody along. You can just do your best. So something I always encourage people to do is, if you know a YouTuber, a tailor, or somebody around you that can teach you just the basics of sewing, like how to cut, how to fold, what to take your armhole, what to take your dart, and all those things, it will be perfect to start there first. Learn the basics of sewing first, whether online or offline. Learn it first before you start attacking advanced styles, because if not, you will just tell yourself at the end of 6 months that it's very impossible to learn how to sew online. Okay, so first thing, the truth about learning how to sew online is confusion, and that is because several people are pumping out different content, pumping out different styles, and you don't even have any idea of what they are doing. You're just seeing things, you're just seeing different designs flying here and there, and you're confused. Now the next difficulty with learning to sew online is picking your cutting pattern. My dear, everybody has a pattern or a way they cut. That is why some people can come to my channel, watch a tutorial, go to someone else's channel, watch a tutorial, and they get confused because I have my own cutting pattern, that person has their own cutting pattern. Now when a beginner watches how to cut a trouser on my channel and watches how to cut a trouser on another channel, she becomes confused because she doesn't even know. She now feels that, okay, maybe one person is wrong or one person is right, because she has not understood the basics of sewing. One. Number two, she has not developed her own cutting pattern, because with every tailor, like I learned a lot of cutting tricks here on YouTube. Like I said in I think 2 other videos, I learned how to cut a trouser here on YouTube. And one thing I did was I watched a couple of tutorials, then I tried to formulate a tutorial that merges my own cutting pattern. So as somebody coming new into the whole dressmaking industry and everything, it will be very difficult to find your own cutting pattern, because you don't even have the basic understanding of the body dynamics, how to fold, how to cut. You are not trying to learn some advanced advanced styles, after trying to learn some advanced styles and it's not just working for you, you've not even been able to develop your own cutting pattern yet, and you just see a lot of tutorials flying here and there, and it brings you back to the first point I talked about: confusion. So one thing with learning how to sew online, one thing I always advise people, which is something I mentioned in the first point, is please, if you're just starting out, invest in beginner courses. We have a lot of YouTubers, a lot of sewing bloggers doing beginner courses: how to cut, how to sew, how to fold. I'm still filming, mine is coming up soon. When it comes out, I will let you guys know. So by the time you understand the basics of sewing, the basics of cutting, by the time you begin to watch advanced styles, by the time you begin to take up on advanced projects, you are not all that confused. You by the time you've taken the basic beginner class, whether online or offline, you'll be able to adapt. Is it adapt, or which word am I going to use? You'll be able to formulate your own cutting pattern. So whatever tutorial you've watched, anywhere you've watched it, whether it's a Spanish YouTuber, you watch her tutorial and you'll be able to cut that thing in your own cutting pattern for whatever style you're cutting. Do you understand me? Now, another problem people face with learning how to, they are oblivious. Is it oblivious? Is that what the word I should use? They are oblivious of the technical know-how of running a business, of manipulating some fabrics, and maybe tricks to getting some things done in some styles. Because I give you an example. If you're learning how to cut a princess, I have like 3 princess dart tutorials here on this channel. You guys will know that when I'm done marking my original shoulder, I go ahead to put like 1 inch extra. And if you've not sewn a princess dart before, you won't know that if you don't take out that 1 inch extra, armhole is going to come out longer than your shoulder, or sometimes your shoulder will come out longer than your armhole. So if maybe you've been sewing, or you've been in a shop, or you've taken online courses where they've mentioned that, when you see me in my tutorial adding that 1 extra in that I'm still going to take out after cutting, you would know that okay, it's for this. So there's some how that you would know if you've taken basic beginner courses, if you formulated your own cutting pattern, if you've sewn for a very long time. Because I noticed that some people that come online to sew, they are just so in a hurry. Like somebody left a message for me that she wants to learn how to sew and cut and everything in 1 month. And I'm wondering, how can you do that? You can't do that, ladies and gentlemen. You can't do that. So back to what I was saying. There are some technical know-hows that they might be captured off camera, or they might be captured off camera, because the truth is we can't put everything on camera. Not that we're trying to hide something, but because we just believe that, oh, you should know that at this point we did this, or at that point you did that. You understand? And the truth with dressmaking is you have to practice. Even as you are learning online, you have to practice. So technical know-how, even apart from sewing, when it comes to even running a fashion business, if you've been in a shop, or you've been an apprentice in a shop, or you've interned in a shop where they have clients working, you see how your madam or your oga has, is negotiating with clients, how they are talking about pricing, how they are getting styles, how they are cautious with talking to customers, how they are polite. That is another side of business that you have been exposed to just because, you are learning under somebody that's in a physical shop. Whereas online, I talk to you about, okay, how to do this, how to do that, but you've not experienced it in real life. And maybe when your first client comes, you are just shaky and you are floppy and you don't even know what to do. So when it comes to sewing online, there's some technical know-hows that you miss out on if probably you are learning how to sew maybe in a physical shop, or you are interning. Another thing with learning how to sew online is you have to do twice the job of somebody learning in a physical shop. I'm going to explain. For example, somebody learning in a physical shop, probably every week they cut a basic skirt, they cut a blouse, they cut some sleeves. They might be in that shop and they've cut puffy sleeve more than 20 times, they cut basic sleeve more than 20 times, and to them it's just a piece of cake. But because you are learning how to sew online, you might be a little reluctant. Maybe you cut a basic sleeve last week, this week you want to try out another sleeve, and you're not so motivated to do that. And one thing I want you to know, if you are learning how to sew online, is you have to do twice the job. Okay, like if you cut a basic sleeve today and you didn't get it right, you have to cut it again and again and again till you get it right. Because even though there's a tutorial online, why it is online is for you to go back over and over again till you get it right. But for somebody who is learning in a physical shop, even if she didn't get it right today, by the time her madam is cutting it tomorrow, she will get it right tomorrow when she's watching her madam cut it. But you learning online, most people just feel like once they watch a tutorial once, that is it. No, you have to go back over and over again till you get it right. So you always have to do double of probably what somebody in a physical shop is doing, because you are learning. Even though you are learning to sew from the comfort of your room, you have to double up with your eagerness to learn how to sew. You have to go over styles over and over again. You have to practice. Sometimes you have to take initiative on your own just because you are learning to sew online. And it's not like it's bad, it's just that with this day and age, with technology and everything, this is just another means, and you just have to do twice the job. You understand? Now, one truth about learning how to sew online is you will spend a lot of money. You will spend much more money. You will buy data. Sometimes you ruin your fabric. I think for people learning how to sew online, you tend to ruin your fabric faster than somebody learning how to sew in a physical shop. But that is okay, because even me, that in quotes, some of you see me as a pro, I still ruin fabrics. I still mess up some styles here and there. So you will spend double the money. You will spend a lot of money on data. You spend a lot of money on that's data. You spend a lot of money on fabrics. You spend money on sewing supplies. It's not like somebody learning in a physical shop, she won't buy fabric or sewing supply, but at least she's not buying data, and we know that data in Nigeria is expensive. So you will spend much more money when it comes to data. Okay, in the data part, you spend much more money. But when it comes to paying for courses, sometimes I even feel like, I know that a lot of the online courses we have, a lot of the times they are a lot cheaper than what you will pay when you go to a physical shop. For example, when I did my workshop, I charged that workshop for 3,000 naira, and the next workshop, the price is actually going up. Okay, but it's still something very, very affordable. But you can't go to somebody's shop and tell the person that, okay, I want you to teach me secrets to getting customers as a new tailor, and the person will charge you 3,000 naira. No, the person is not going to do that. She'll tell you, okay, bring 50,000 naira, and I will tell you my secret. So sometimes I even feel that when it comes to sewing online, even though you're learning how to sew online, even though you spend a lot of money with data subscription, I think you spend way lesser money when it comes to taking the courses, little by little and small by small. Some people, I know there's some of you learning how to sew in places where you pay 20,000 naira, 10,000 naira, but the difference is always clear when you see somebody who paid for a more expensive place. You understand? Another thing with learning how to sew online is you have to have a lot of patience. You see that patience that Abraham had. He had Isaac. If you're a Christian, you know how long Abraham waited to have Isaac. You have to have a lot of patience, because I see a lot of people give up so easily, so quickly. Just feel like, oh, I've tried how to cut a trouser once, twice, I didn't get it, I'm not going to try it again. It's a lie, it's a scam. People can't learn how to sew online. It's not true. You have to be very patient. I know for how many months I kept watching different trouser tutorials before I was able to formulate my own tutorial, and everybody is telling me, oh, Ada, you made it easier, you made it simpler. Not knowing that, and I said it here, there's no shame in it. I learned how to cut a trouser online. So if you want to learn how to sew, whether you're taking private classes, whether you're taking public classes, that's free classes, you have to be very patient, because even if you take private classes and you don't practice and practice again, and you're not patient, you will not learn. So one thing about learning how to sew online is you have to be very, 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 very patient. Okay, another thing I always advise people, if you're learning how to sew online, is whether you're taking a full 1-year course on learning how to sew online, and you're also watching tutorials on YouTube, or you're taking 3 months course online and also watching tutorials on YouTube. One thing I always tell people is, please go for internship. Please do internship. In Nigeria, they call it apprenticeship. Okay, you're an apprentice. Look for a place where you can intern, where even if they tell you, okay, we don't just teach people our secrets, you have to pay us. A lot of Nigerian designers can be like that, and there's no shame in it. You can pay them to intern with them. Sometimes some of them can tell you, okay, no problem, just come. Some of them can be nice and tell you, okay, no problem, just come and learn. Because the truth is, you feel, oh, I've learned everything, I've learned how to cut, I've learned how to sew. But when you go to a physical shop, you see much more. So something I always tell people is, if you're learning how to sew online, please intern or look for a place where you can do an internship for maybe 6 months or 1 year. Look for a place where you can do an apprenticeship for maybe 6 months or 1 year. It will really, really, really help you. So guys, this is my tea on the truth about learning how to sew online. I've just touched on different points. I know that these points are problems people always face, especially with the comments I get on my videos. Like when somebody is asking me, okay, maybe a basic thing that I know that, oh, if maybe you learned the basics of sewing, you wouldn't have to ask me this, you understand? So I just decided to share this with you so that if you want to learn online, you just know the whole package, and so that you don't just get discouraged and you just feel like, oh, it's a lie, you can't learn how to sew online. You can actually learn how to sew online, but these are the obstacles and you can overcome them. So if you enjoyed this video, please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Hit the like button. Let me know if you're learning fully how to sew online, or if you're learning partly on YouTube and in a physical shop, or if you're depending solely on paid courses. Let me know in the comment section. I want to see you in my next video, so hit the subscribe button. Don't forget. I'd love to see you in my next video. Bye.